You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from I don't know where, because I didn't put it in the notes, and I totally forgot.
God damn it, Bill!
This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hit it, Bob! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. It's another week. It's another show. Bill Sweeney. This was my bad idea. I bring some friends and sometimes some family. We got my buddy Ed across the table.
Perfect. Beautiful. Could you give me just one more?
Nope. And I've got my brother Bob on guitar.
Hey, what's up?
That's the sound of him. And Uncle Jay's hanging out.
What's going on, Bill?
Oh, boy. It's like hanging out with Muppets. But they're real. So, no, I
Happy to be back once again.
Hey, man. Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
This
I'm not
cigar
happy
is
to have
tasty
you.
and wonderful and healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm blowing it right in Ed's face.
It's already cloudy as fuck.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst thing.
You're a second-hand cigar smoker.
Yes.
Tell your parents.
It's not the worst thing I've had stuffed in my face.
Whoa.
That's another show.
We get two bells for that
That's
one.
another show.
So, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. In a little bit, this is episode 104, and in a little bit, we're going to do, we don't got a lot of nerd news, but we are going to hit the email a little bit. We're going to do a round of pitch versus pitch, which was set up last week. We got the DC TV report later on. And that's kind of like the tease. Now, Guardians, we'll get into it later, but we're gonna do a special one-off solo episode thing. So we're gonna run through this show.
Okay.
If you're listening live, we're gonna run through this episode, and then we're really gonna get into Guardians Deep later on. But we will touch it a little bit in a minute or two.
And don't be thinking we're going to be shortchanging you guys on this show because it's free anyway. So
Yeah, you can't shortchange on
something you're getting for nothing.
free. I'm gonna say. I don't know math, but I'm going to say you're right on that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like 0 equals 0, no matter how many times you cut it to 0.
It's a zero-sum game.
Exactly.
Fair enough. All right, so if anybody wants to go check it out over on wickedtheory.com, Jay's got a nice little story, memoir or memory type thing he wrote up about Star Wars.
First time I've ever laid eyes on Empire Strikes Back. Nice little story. And so it's one of those stories where you feel like it's always been with you. It's a true to life story, and you say, it's a tale. You tell it over dinner, you tell it over Easter, when you have the family over. And then, what? I said, let's make it a memoir. And I did. I
thought the bravest move was that you actually go out of your way to tell people where the bodies are at the end.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have done that.
Yes.
I wouldn't have done that.
Well, you know what? The statute of limitations is 20 years.
There you go.
This is 37 years.
There you go.
I don't think it's a statute on murder. I'm just going to say.
It's all right.
Maybe New Jersey. Maybe it's a Jersey rule.
No, but that's like the one thing.
Oh, it's across the board?
Yeah.
All the states have agreed on that one.
That's like when Henry Hill used to go on Stern and used to tell everybody where everybody was buried. They have to keep relocating him. He gave away where he was once. That was great.
Yeah. And then they moved him to Arizona, and he was dealing Quaaludes or something.
Yeah. He was up to no good.
It wasn't Quaaludes. It was ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
He just can't.
Henry Hill.
I read a story. He was like, yeah. Well, how could I not? I'm living in freaking Arizona. Everyone here's a freaking idiot. It was like My Blue Heaven for him.
Right.
Yeah. It was easy to take over.
I think that was actually the inspiration.
Probably from My Blue Heaven.
So
By the way, it's actually a very good movie.
My Blue Heaven is and it has held up too.
Yeah.
Joan Cusack is incredible in that film.
I don't believe in tipping. I believe in over tipping.
And a dog named Fangool.
I think I got to rewatch this now.
Well, it's better than
It's
the
been
name
so
of the
long.
other one in The Jerk. Shithead.
Shithead, yeah. That's right.
So, speaking of shitheads, Shithead's got a story. Go check it out over at wickedtheory.com.
Yep, that's me.
And then also, hey, listen, if you haven't picked up a shirt yet and you're listening to this live, this is it. It's today and tomorrow. So if you go over to if you go over to teespring.com/wickedtee, there's a countdown clock, and this time it counts. This time it means something. So
Yep.
that's it. We're home stretch. It's like less than 48 hours or whatever that is.
So what you're saying is we're hanging up the shirts after today.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And they're nice shirts.
They're nice shirts.
They really are.
They're nice.
They're really awesome Hanes shirts. I mean,
they're pretty good.
I want mine in black, I said.
Yeah, well, you know.
maybe we'll be doing if we do more shirts in the future.
Yeah.
Or a Wicked Theory jersey. I would get one of those.
Yeah, well,
put my name on the back. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I want one.
$30 a month, you can get a Wicked Theory mug.
Yeah,
you know, just support the show. You fucking son of a bitch.
You know,
well, I need a new.
No, you support enough. You've been covering that toll to get here. So.
Yeah, really.
You know, I have family friends of mine who I've shown the shirts to, and they always go, "Wow, that's a really cool shirt." They want to know.
Wow,
they
that's
want
a
to know.
shirt.
They really complimented your design, Bill.
Well, thank you.
You know, they didn't think it was good enough to buy, but you know,
Right,
they
exactly,
really thought
right.
it looked
wasn't
cool.
so amazing. All right, that's the next one. That's the.
Oh, that's really cool. I'd never wear it, but it looks good.
Yeah,
on you.
That's good for you. That's good for you.
Yeah.
Like, you ever see the logo for that Tell 'em Steve Dave uses?
Yeah.
For with the skull, and it looks like a comic book panel box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want that so bad. I mean, it's 4-color demons, I think is the name of it. It looks like a biker gang logo.
Yeah.
On the back, you know what I mean? It's fucking so badass.
Yeah.
It's probably the most badass thing in all of podcasting. I'm just
Wow.
going to say it. I'm just going to say
I mean,
it.
it is Brian Johnson.
And don't you dare go listen to them, no matter how awesome they are. You stay here. Okay. So as of Monday, if you're listening to this on Mondays, when it comes down to it, the T-shirts, they're probably not available anymore. And you'll have to just hang around and hope that something pops up soon. Who knows when? Anything could happen.
Don't worry. I
Don't
got
worry.
connections.
We got anybody hanging out in the chat room, Ed?
Yeah, we got Prof Politico.
Hey, haven't heard you.
Wow.
Seen you in a while. Hey, buddy, thanks for coming back.
Professor.
And we got
I think he wants another mug.
we got Wesley Ryan Gaskins.
Hey, Wesley.
And
Wesley.
the Kilted Ginger,
Hey.
who's driving right now, so he's not going to be live commenting.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I guess Merge wants him to focus on the road.
So that's Dan, if anybody
Yes.
doesn't know. Oh, shit. I totally forgot. Vamp.
I've listened to the show in my car
Oh, yeah?
and
Yeah.
talked to you guys just fine.
That's because you're a fucking maniac.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're used to driving in
That was the
crazy
100th.
traffic.
That was your 100th show.
Right.
And
Yeah, didn't you say? I think you were in the chat room at that point. You had an accident or something.
no.
You almost did?
No. Some guy almost ran into me
that
and
was
cut
it.
me off.
I
All right, I'm back. Can we abandon this, or do we have to finish it?
No, it's done.
No, we can band it. Yeah, it's all we've done.
So
What's that? Box of condoms?
Yeah, one of the reasons that Dan might be in
Huge box.
the chat room is because he sent this, and he gave special instructions that Ed is supposed to read this this note.
Okay. To be read on air by Ed O'Hare. I love the rhymes.
You're a poet and you didn't know it.
Let him go.
My fellow public speaker in arms, or vocal cords, or lips, to the fine fellows of Wicked Theory Podcast, thank you for allowing me to be a part of one of my favorite podcasts that fills my ear holes on a weekly basis.
Wow.
As a thank you and also in celebration of your 100th episode, I bequeath you these gifts. Well, I was going to bring them with me, but I didn't see the small print that one of them was a special order and would take 7 to 10 business days to print, which I found out after I paid the extra for 2-day delivery. And it wasn't in the box.
Oh.
To Bill, I present the Larry the Lung t-shirt.
It's actually Jeff.
Because in your case, having an extra lung is always a good thing.
So this is from.
That's very good.
So this is actually, if you've seen last week.
Last week tonight with John Oliver.
John Oliver. This was a big tobacco company
Yes.
branding special thing they did. And they actually went and had a mascot that looked like that and shit. And it's like,
Oh, yeah, Larry
you put
the
a
Lung.
cowboy hat and boots on it, everybody will love it. You know,
Because everyone loved the Marlboro Man forever.
there you go.
To Brother Bob,
Ooh.
I present to you the Night's Watch Oath t-shirt because, well, I thought it would be cool due to your guitar skills, dark humor, and because, like the Night's Watch, you've sworn an oath of celibacy. At least that's what Bill told me.
So,
Oh, okay.
so Night's Watch, for those who don't watch, is from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
So
Very cool. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And then we got a couple more things in here.
To Ed, I
My fat
present
ass, I'll wear it.
I present to you Drogon the Dragon. To me, you are the Khaleesi to Bill's Khal Drago. Please, you really look like Daenerys. especially around the eyes.
So this is a
Daenerys. Oh wow.
this is a toy, not toy, but it's like a plush kind of dragon.
Oh, it's great.
But it's not like plushy, cartoony plushy. It's as realistic as like a plush toy could kind of get. I think it's posable. I feel like wireframe inside of it. It's pretty cool though.
I'll put that on my mantle.
Looks like a lizard.
Cloth
You got to
wings
make it a
and
hood
shit.
ornament for that giant car you drive, Ed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Looks like it came from a Gothic store.
That's going to freak out my mom. And to Dom, or Uncle Jay, or whomever is sitting at fourth mic this week,
So we don't have to hold it for Dom. That's good.
There
I
you go.
present this Boardwalk Empire beer T-shirt because it was in the pantry at work, and much like that fourth mic, was up for grabs.
Ooh, very
There you
cool.
go.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Very
Thanks.
fitting that it's Boardwalk Empire.
Thank you again, gentlemen.
You're
For
lucky I forgot that was here when
Yeah.
Dom was here. I probably would have gave it to him on the spot.
You can still give it to him.
No. I'm only kidding. I'm only busting your balls.
It's kind of interesting
And
that
his.
Boardwalk Empire was in part filmed on Staten Island.
And he's from Jersey. It
And
takes
from
place.
Jersey.
Yeah.
It takes
And
place in
Jersey.
Jersey,
And when you
Okay,
think
sure.
of anything mafia, you think of me, which is wonderful.
which is not nice.
Goodbye. Forget about it.
thank
It's
you.
it's a compliment. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Ed.
Thank you again, gentlemen, for allowing me to be a part of and for making me feel so welcome to your weekly sausage party.
Oh,
It was truly a pleasure and an honor. And, Bill, I promise to bring the triple fudge espresso brownies next time to help on your pursuit of the diabetes.
the triple,
Diabetes.
I think that might be code for something
Diabetes.
for something kinky, but
Oh,
you know,
no, it's Wilford Brimley all the way.
well, not the diabetes. A triple fudge.
Oh, espresso brownies?
Yeah, that's code for something like it's a Chicago hot plate kind of thing.
Or brownies filled with laxatives.
That'd be even better.
Wishing you only the best, Dan, a.k.a. Deke273. P.S. Please turn up the mixer. I have to crank up the volume to barely even hear you guys.
Including me?
I don't know. Yeah, well, I think that's not.
It doesn't apply to me, right?
Let me know if that's still an issue, people.
I know.
I thought we discussed this.
We've discussed this.
We've discussed this, and as far as the audio goes, and he sent us a couple of weeks ago. I sent it out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So who knows when he wrote that? You know, but yeah. And I'm getting a little tired of getting picked on.
So what you're saying is you're not going to listen to him now.
Fuck
No,
you, Bill.
fuck him. We got the swag. We don't need to pay attention to him like ever again. now.
So it's our problem because we all have bad hearing.
Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Dan.
Dan,
Thank
yeah.
you very much, Dan. That's
Yes,
very
Dan.
nice of you.
In all honesty, if this actually fits me, my fat ass, I will actually wear it.
Well, does everybody feel like it's a little louder in their headphones this week?
No, I don't.
A li-
I think it's beautiful.
bit.
Overall, no, no.
little
Okay,
bit.
all right.
I like the volume.
Thank
I seem to feel like it's a little better on my headphones.
Me too.
I don't care about the listeners or.
Did you clean your ears today? Would that be it?
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very
on a
much.
serious
Luckily,
note,
I was here today.
Feel free to send more shit anytime.
Yeah, but only we'll
Good
let you.
stuff. No explosives or anything like that.
We'll do a fair.
Send that to me.
Nothing to get us involved with the ATF either, please.
We'll do a fair exchange. If you're gonna bring. Could you cough away from the microphone?
Go. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
So you gotta get one of those-
after 4 times of trying something, I just move on.
I got you.
Anyway, so speaking of really moving on, what were we gonna do?
Do
We were
wanna-
talking about the chat room,
Yeah, we're talking about the chat room.
and who was in there? We had 3 people, 2 people,
We have,
civilians. How many civilians are in there?
3.
3.
3, one's driving.
Okay, fair enough. We'll put it in there anyway. Give Iron Man 2 a subtitle.
That's the chat game for this week.
It was pointed out to me. I think it might have been Palmer. It might not have been, but that the movie never really had a subtitle. It's the only sequel in Marvel's thing that doesn't have one.
No.
Let's help it out.
Well, except
Iron Man
for
3 doesn't have one.
Iron Man 3.
Oh, is that the thing? Maybe they were just
Yeah.
like, Iron Man's so cool, he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're doing some other week.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 3. All right, so.
Well, so examples include Hammer Time
Yeah, okay.
and A Man and His Bird.
It's bird. Oh, yeah, the cockatoo. Or teal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so with that.
Iron Man 2, The Milking.
With that, usually, you kids play with that, have fun. We'll corral all the answers, responses, what have yous, in a minute or two,
Etc.
You know, and then at this point, we're just going to jump right into news because we moved it up to the front last week.
Yep.
And we like it up there. You know, it's nice and toasty and warm. News o'clock.
You know, it's
We got it in time just for the end.
There you go. You know, it's funny, Bill. You said before the show we're not doing trailer trash this week.
Yeah.
Yet,
but
all 3 news articles are about trailers.
Yeah. We've merged the 2 this week.
Yes.
It wasn't really necessary to do quite news or quite trailers if they're both the same.
Trash. We haven't said the titles yet.
That means he's trashing the show then.
Cash.
If he just says trash all the time.
It's my Tourette's.
Tourette's. He's got 2-word Tourette's. And thank God neither one's offensive. Right. We can take him anywhere. All right. So this week the Defenders trailer finally popped up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about 3/4 of that show.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, the setup of Heroes for Hire, just that one little bit, like, okay, this might be interesting. Like
Danny and
Luke,
yeah.
and having Danny in a team setting.
Danny needs an older brother, I think.
Yeah.
If Luke could kind of be that character for him down the line,
yeah.
Hey, I'm down for that. I think like that's what they really should do for season 2 of Iron Fist is bring Luke in.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
He didn't have that big old Irish uncle to smack him across the face and go and say, "Hey, get your shit together."
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, there's nobody really in his corner. Like, where in a lot of other shows and setups there is, like, somebody who at least kind of like the one friend who knows everything from the jump. Yeah. Instead, he just kind of meets this chick and she gets it on the fly a little bit here and there. But anyway, it looked really good. I feel like it might be a thing where they were like, let's edit the shit out of this fucking trailer. Yeah. Set it to some Nirvana song that's like all dissected into pieces now somehow. To give half the audience douche chill feelings.
Thank you.
And then echo.
I think it looks good.
Are you going to come as you are?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. No, it does look really good. The action scenes. It looks like they spent. I tweeted it out the other day, but I think it still holds up. We rewatched it earlier, but it looks like this is where all the attention went. It really does.
And we still have no idea who Sigourney Weaver is.
No,
which is probably good. Which I like.
I think she's Elektra.
Okay.
I think when they put her in that tomb thing, she just got old.
Oh. Oh, that's a thing?
That's a thing.
Crossing my fingers for a Doctor Strange cameo.
Oh, my God. Well, you can cross them until they break, my friend.
I think it will happen. I actually honestly think that's going to bridge to the movies.
It's a missed opportunity, man, because it's all in Manhattan. And, Manhattan's tiny, relatively speaking. They should all be stumbling on each other. It's the one thing in the Marvel Universe you're kind of going to be like, okay, whatever.
Maybe instead of getting him, Doctor Strange, on a character's main show, maybe we'll end up getting him in the Defenders, because that's got to be a bigger story if all 4 of them have to be involved to fight whatever's going on.
Well, the only thing the only thing about that is I know Cumberbatch is a big A-lister. Yeah. You know what I mean? He agreed to do this, but I would think that he would have a cameo. Well, at least, Samuel L. Jackson did, and a few of the other people did on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Geographically, he's only a few miles away.
Yeah, exactly.
Across town. So.
And wasn't Doctor Strange in the comic book Defender? Or am I thinking?
Yeah, he's one of the original Defenders. That's why we asked. That's why
there's been a lot of different iterations of the team, but yeah, he's definitely been in the lineup.
So is
off and on. Hulk, Silver Surfer,
Beast too, Angel.
Every time it comes back, it's a different lineup. But this is the first time that the lineup actually kind of like makes sense in a way. Like, it's never really made sense, and it's also a thing where it's like, how come you guys never did this before with it? Like, it's a very missed opportunity.
Well, I was like, I remember when they said this, they were calling them the Hell's Kitchen Defenders, like as if that was like a specific version of
It's
Defenders.
just how they're trying to push that. That's the commonality. Is this 4-block radius in Manhattan, basically? Like, not about 4, but it's like.
But
6.
was Daredevil a Defender in the books? Because I don't remember that.
He probably was on a team for a while or popped up. I mean, the Defenders is one of those books where it was built just to have crossovery stories like that, where it's like, oh, it's a thing where like Ghost Rider, Wolverine, the Punisher, and name somebody else who's a badass. Like, they're all together, and even that they can't sell because it's just one of these things. It's like cursed. It's like trying to, like how Marvel tried for so long to make Inhumans kind of work. Yeah. And just like now they finally found the groove or whatever. Yeah. It's a similar thing with Defenders. It's like, okay, this is an iteration that works. Cool. Finally. But, the trailer looks really good. No, I mean, you psyched, right? You got to be more psyched for this now, like, than Iron Fist.
Oh, we'll get back to that.
Okay. The jury's still open on that. Yeah. All right. So,
next up, there was another very, very small teaser for a Marvel show.
Inhumans, speaking
slash
of.
movie.
Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah, Jay doesn't even have to see people.
Cash.
But we didn't show him the cast photo.
Well, I think I think I can speak for you too. If it's Marvel, we're going to watch it.
You cannot speak for me.
If it's Marvel, you're going to watch it. I'll attest to that.
That is in the NDA that you signed. You cannot speak for me.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to go to IMAX to go see it. That's the problem. This is only going to be an IMAX. It's going to come to theaters. It's going to have the first 2 episodes basically as an IMAX movie.
I'll take you with me. I'm buying.
All right. Fuck these guys.
See, and that goes back to I'm right.
All right,
You're going to see it.
See, that's like a
Cash.
See, that's the best date I ever had. I haven't even had it yet. But it depends on the movie, actually.
Oh wow! And this, I'm looking at this pic. This seems very true to comics.
They're trying for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Black Bolt. He doesn't have the full head mask.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mask. He doesn't have the tuning fork necessarily on his head. But
Cool.
the jacket or the thing he's wearing is pretty strict. Everybody else seems to be in it. And look, they're doing Lockjaw full on. And for those who don't know, Lockjaw is basically a giant bulldog that can talk and teleport people.
Yes.
And has a giant magnet on his head, right?
Tuning fork type thing. Yeah. And so with that, this is what you're walking into. Let's hope for the best on this. And in all of that, it's probably going to have like this Game of Thrones.
And they live on the dark
overtone.
side of the moon.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
I mean, it's like if you can make it harder for it to succeed, I can't think of any other ways.
But Medusa, it looks like they just took the head off an action figure. And
Yeah,
just put it on top
that
of
wig
it.
is rough.
Yeah.
That wig is rough. And supposedly, they're working overtime on the CG shit, and especially to get her right, to get the hair, the living hair thing going right. Sure, it's going to be 90. It's all going to be CG, but I'm sure that's a sticky wicket.
Yeah, well, I think at this point in what's going on with Marvel in the Disney universe, Disney needs to say, okay, whatever you guys need to do to get it right, just go ahead and spend the money, because overall, everything that Marvel's doing is working.
It's a huge risk on this because they kind of committed to doing it like this before they had this whole cast locked up. You know what I mean? They didn't have everybody cast assigned before they were like, oh, IMAX movie, 2 hours, and then go to series. Yeah, we're casting right now. Like, you built a project, like, you know what I mean? Like, backwards. Like, you got hyper committed to the idea where it's like, we got a date and half a script, maybe. Like, you know what I mean?
And usually when you build things from the wrong perspective, they fail. It's like focus group cars.
Speaking of which, by the way, showrunner on this?
Yeah.
Take a guess. Just take a guess. What would be the worst showrunner for this?
Seth Rogen.
The guy who did Iron Fist.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I believe the whole series
Warning.
I believe the whole series is being shot in IMAX, even though they're only releasing the first 2 episodes, because they want to push like 4K TV. It's like how this is going to look incredible.
I think that's part of their thing. Look, they're shooting in Hawaii. They're dumping huge amounts of money into it, and God bless them. And I hope it's a success because it might be the kind of way that this is the only way that this could work. Like, the only way this is going to work is if you do that. If you try to make this Game of Thrones with superheroes on ABC, the only way to make that succeed, like, look at, like, NBC just pulled that Wizard of Oz thing.
Oh, yeah.
And granted, they jammed it on Friday nights or whatever, but it was getting a little bit of buzz at first, maybe.
Yeah, but also that's the kind of project that just it's in that incubator for so long that there's just no way. There's too many hands in that. There's no way it's going to come out.
It lost its path too. I'll say that. So semi psyched about that with reservations.
Yeah,
and then also trailer this week finally landed for The Dark Tower.
Now this is a book series I've always heard about. Never took the time to read. Always just heard it. I always heard about the Gunslinger and the Men in Black. Like those are the 2 characters, and then you realize I watch this and I realize that there's a kid involved, and you go, oh,
I like kids.
Oh, like this.
Kids are cute.
Like, but like, this is an 80s kids adventure movie written by Stephen King. So it's
you might think that from that trailer.
Not the first time Stephen King and
it's more like the
kids were in
kid
the
in
same
Logan.
sentence.
It's closer to that.
What was that, Jay?
I said it's not the first time Stephen King and kids were in the same sentence.
Well, that's not a good thing.
It's close to
Stand by
Logan.
Me.
Close to Logan.
Yeah, as far as the personality type and the things that are going to go on anyway.
Yeah. What I mean is that because King is involved, there's no guarantees. So that's what.
Well, that's the thing I wonder with this too. Is it's like, there's a fantastic amount of weirdness that happens, and the way the story all unfolds. Like, it does feel like a thing where, like, because it's like his big epic when he writes it, that it doesn't matter. Like, he's not beholden to any goddamn rules. He's just whatever he wants to do. It feels almost like a stream of consciousness. Like, you know what I mean? Sure, everything works out and links up and makes sense in the end. Yeah. But it is kind of like very dreamlike thing that goes on. So it's like...
Well, I'll tell you two things you can expect. The soundtrack will most likely include AC/DC and the Ramones.
One of the two for fucking sure.
Yeah.
I will back that.
This is a man who owns a radio station in Maine.
Yeah, rock radio station.
A rock radio station. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an AM station, so the only reason it's being kept alive is because he's keeping it alive, more or less.
And the name of the band that he was in with a couple of writers was the Rock Bottom Remainders.
Right.
So
that's Jesus Christ.
When he writes his little openings, and he writes to his readers, and usually opens up "Dear Constant Reader." That's me. He's talking to me. Just saying. Steve's talking to me. But really excited for it. It's obviously there's going to be some kind of tonal shift. I think a little bit. Maybe it may not feel in the end as much of Sergio Leone kind of Western as was much, in the mystique of it all. Yeah. It looks a little bit darker toned in visuals, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more of a turn towards fantasy.
Yeah, they're leaning hard visually anyway. It seems a lot more gray tones. I was expecting a lot more sepia and deserts kind of thing of a palette. We're talking about palette, Jay.
Well, that's just the thing now.
Jay get in trouble? Because he's been so fucking quiet for the last...
Well, I'm waiting for you guys to finish, because I'm always... Are you
being a gentleman?
I'm trying to be gentle so I can go in and tell you you're all wrong.
Oh, go for it.
Fair enough. Then jump in now. This is a good
No. I read the book. Well, I read them years ago. They were actually some of Stephen King's better work, I actually think.
Me too.
So on that note, I'm going to see it. Cash. Akiva Goldsman writing. I can kind of like, gives you like,
make you nervous.
But that's not why I'm going to go see The Dark Tower, not because, he has anything to do with it. You know what I mean? I think this is good. This is a new director, too, I think. Sort of new.
Some kid, right? Some young
Nikolai or whatever his name is.
I was only kidding. I thought Ron Howard was doing it.
No, we all thought
he's producing.
He's producing.
Yeah, no, he stepped off a couple years ago.
Right. But he's still involved.
This thing has been Nikolai Arcel.
Okay, fair enough.
And Idris Elba's a good actor. So is McConaughey. Yes. I'm cashing it. I'll be there when it opens.
Sounds
like it's going to be good as far as the cast,
right?
And the material.
And if King is involved, like hands-on on the production side, you just said that.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be faithful to the book.
I think it's coming out with his blessing for sure.
Good.
He may not be hands-on like in some other projects that because you know how he is.
It's not going to be like Lawnmower Man or
no, it's not going to be. It's not going to be Maximum Overdrive either.
I like Maximum Overdrive. I think that's a lot of fun.
Stephen King's directorial debut and last direction.
Yeah.
Well,
the short story it was based on was actually pretty decent.
It was a night shift.
It was called
Trucks.
Trucks.
No, it's a fun movie. You know what I mean? He had a bad time making it. I remember.
Yeah, well, he kind of got in over his head a little bit.
But that first line in the movie, this ATM just called me an asshole.
And you're just going, well, it's because I think you are. We haven't really met you yet, stranger who's about to die. But I'm pretty sure that you are. So that's it, really, for
good
the news.
Soundtrack too.
That's all we really got in there this week.
AC/DC, Ramones.
Right.
That's it.
No, it was just AC/DC, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty much all AC/DC.
It's basically their greatest hits, and I think they wrote one song for the movie. Who made who, I think it was.
It was on that album.
Who made who? I'll never sing again, I'm sorry. All right, so over in the Meanwhile stuff there, because that's where we go next.
Yep.
Meanwhile.
So Guardians of the Galaxy came out this week.
Yes.
Cash.
Yes,
It did?
Cash. They did get you cash.
Yeah, they got it.
And you'd cash again.
Cash.
Maybe you'd cash again. So,
Quaaludes.
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 That's a pre-show.
That's an after show discussion.
Yeah, thank God it's not pre-show.
But if you guys want to laugh, we have something for you.
Okay. So, Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Yes, it did.
I'll try this again from the top.
Volume 2 came out.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I was right. Another one came out this week, and so we all saw it. But we're gonna do like a full
spoiler special, right?
Yeah, full spoiler review in a little bit. But we'll knock that out as a separate episode, and we'll get into a little bit here, but not too much because we don't want to kill it. But yeah. Jay, what do you think about the movie in a general sense, and give us a rating?
General sense, it's a really good, really great science fiction adventure, just like the first one was. Didn't lose any of the magic. I liked the story. Kurt Russell was phenomenal in it. I thought he was fantastic. Long story short, for me, a good solid 4 American tacos. Go see it.
Wow.
See it on the big screen.
I also enjoyed this a lot. I think trying to figure out what to say and what not to say and what to hold back. But
fair enough.
Basically, I think all of my predictions about, Baby Groot being all that you needed and everything else was gravy, and there was plenty of gravy to go around.
Cool. Put that on the fucking poster. We got pull quotes.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna give this. I saw it twice. I saw it just before I came here. So
you greedy fuck.
Yep. And I'm going to give this 3.5 American tacos.
3.5.
Okay.
3.5. Fair enough.
Right. Basically they have made the perfect family summer movie with this movie.
Sure.
It's sci-fi adventure, fun, laughs right from the get-go. You're gonna love Baby Groot. Buy the shirt.
You'll probably buy something.
Yeah. What can you say? It's 4 American tacos. It's definitely an overall fun time for everybody.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, really strong. It's a really great follow-up to what they put out in the first one. It doesn't get bogged down with too much. Like sometimes a sequel will have a whole bunch of extra shit that's like,
right.
All right,
you're
just trying to like outdo the last one, and they didn't really do that. It almost feels reserved,
almost.
which is not, in a way, it's like you kind of expected like maybe more side stories or more like
I think
higher stakes in the side stories that we had or something.
Right. I think if he would have done more, it would have ended up hurting the story because the whole explaining ego.
Right.
It's such a convoluted thing.
Yeah.
It's very easy for people to start jumping off.
Sure. Absolutely.
The way it's done is excellent. Just if you start overtelling that story, though.
Yeah.
You'll totally blow it out.
I mean,
it
flew.
The balance is really. It's a really good balance throughout the whole movie,
and it flows with the first film. Nicely.
Yeah.
I think
it's a good second. It's a good second movie.
Solid. I think.
In that way, where I could see how a third one will be the one maybe where they decide to go balls to the wall in a sense.
Well, I think the third one is going to mesh to the.
That by the nature of it, it probably will just be that more roller coastery kind of thing. Even though there was tons of action and thrills in this and great stuff.
Right.
But
I got reasons to knock it down a little bit. I'll get into them later. But I'm gonna give it a 3.3 kind of thing. I kind of want to give it a 3.5. But I'm kind of like
that's
reserved.
Bullshit. That's chicken shit.
No,
Just
not
give
really.
It 3.5.
No, because I gave something a 3.2
we
once.
We do those, and I feel like I do them loose. But this time I'm kind of like sticking.
It's
to
allowed.
I mean,
because I don't want to just say it's a recommendation because that implies I don't really like it, and I feel like a 3.5 is more than I want to give it.
You know what?
So 3.25.
You know what, Bill?
The judge from America says 3.25.
It's your show.
Don't start that shit.
Cash.
I'm gonna give it a 17 and 6/18. Cash. Maybe I need to spend more cash and see it again. No, but So look for our special full spoiler review, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 special. If you want to hear us get in depth on it. And we're going to break down some of the Easter eggs and the end credit stuff because there's a lot to kind of go through. And I feel like if we kind of start getting into it, we'll, as normally happens, we'll want to kind of like start dipping into that. And if we can just go over it in a very looser structure where spoilers don't matter, So after you see it, kids, go find the episode and then listen to us talk about it because you want to. And so also in this week of things happening was Free Comic Book Days today, Saturday.
Ooh, cool.
And Ed is the only person who managed to get down to a shop this week.
Yes.
You have now pulled out your stack of books.
Yes, I went to Comic Book Jones.
Hey, we know those guys.
2424 Forest Avenue.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Staten Island, New York.
Good friends of ours. And the way they do it, you show up, you get 5 books free.
Okay.
And I picked a couple off the shelf. Babyface gave me one. I got Star Trek: The Next Generation, Mirror Broken, which has a sleeveless Jean-Luc Picard with a beard and really, really jacked biceps.
Yeah, and not for nothing, everybody's jacked, I think. Data is a little bit more jacked, and he's half Borg, and Counselor Troy is everything you wanted Counselor Troy to be if she was going to start seducing everybody on the ship.
Definitely looks like an alternate universe.
Yeah, some of the best stuff that did is these mirror.
They made her up to look like a goth slut.
Yeah, and this is
ZDW.
And the interior art is actually fully painted style, which just gives it a nice look. It looks like a very.
Is that what's his name?
Tippin?
No.
J.K. Woodward.
J.K. Woodward. Yes,
and he's got a very Alex Ross feel to this.
He did
this is nice.
Yeah, he did the Star Trek Doctor Who crossover.
Okay. Okay.
And he does a lot of work with Peter David. He's really, really solid.
There's a little bit of extras in here too. Very cool. Very cool. It's just a lot of the free comic book day special books.
Yeah.
Just for people who don't know. They're not always full books. You don't always get a full issue. A lot of times they're samplers in a lot of different ways. But it's it's free stuff, and it's sometimes it's exclusive. Like you can only get this particular story.
For example, one of them is the Bongo Comics Free for All.
Oh, Simpsons stuff, right?
Yeah, which is Simpsons and I think some Futurama in it too.
Nice.
The back cover's awesome.
Yeah,
it's Leela and what's the hell? Fry. Yeah,
Leela Taranga.
And they're kind of doing this movie,
the Star Wars
bit pose.
Yeah. Role reversal.
Also got Kaiser Soze, Scorched Earth.
Oh, yeah.
And The Rift from Red 5 Comics.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Which is a sequel to The Usual Suspects that no one wanted, but you know what? I'm still going to check it anyway.
Dude, that's got my cash, man. Holy shit. I would read that.
And here's the best part. It was free.
Oh, well, it's too late for me.
Yeah, previews of 2 different books. Nice. Let's see here. Kaiser Soze.
Too busy with my head up my ass
Scorched
today.
Earth. I assure you,
it's from Red 5
I am sure
Comics.
You've heard a number of tall tales, myths, and legends about Mr. Soze. I can assure you, gentlemen, most of them are true.
Is that Kobayashi? Is that your Kobayashi?
That's my
Mr. Soze?
Mr. Soze. 1986, Dan Methsizer, who will one day consult Agent Bayer in a memorable case, is a Justice Department agent with an eye for patterns. For years, he's been tracking the trace of a name, Kaiser Soze, as an obsessive hobby. At least he calls it a hobby. Oh, nice. Someone's on the trail.
What else you got?
I also got World's Greatest Cartoonists, which, it's for Fantagraphics, and they do a lot of collection stuff, and this just looks like all random stuff talking about famous cartoonists, comic book writers, and artists who you might not know about.
It's like Evan Dorkin.
Well, Evan Dorkin, speaking of which, was actually at the shop today. And he and Howie Knoll, who does the Terra Norman.
Okay.
Terranormal webcomic.
Terranormal. Okay, cool. I've seen that.
And the last book I got was I Hate Image.
Oh, nice.
By
Scotty
Young with Jean-Francois Boileau.
Oh, you French.
Yeah. What's the name of this? The book this comes from?
I Hate Fairyland.
I Hate Fairyland. Yeah, and it's basically her going through all of Image Comics repertoire, giving
she gets
destroying everything.
Dead,
25 years, huh?
Spawn and all that. She kind of goes through and
kills everything.
Basically, probably.
Yeah, and not to be outdone.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing about Free Comic Book Day. It's a great thing, and if you go to the comic shop, they always have something going on. A lot of comics have creators. Some people will have like activities and stuff. I know, like once in a while they used to have.
The shop's really trying to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. If you go, it's a fun time. But try to buy something else.
Yeah.
That is
support local businesses.
Yes, because those comic shops, they give away those comics for free, but they do pay to get them, and they're trying to bring awareness and bring people in. So. Be a nice guy. Don't just take the freebies. I actually got a...
Why are you looking at me, Ed?
Think of all the labor. Think of all the labor that's involved for this day. All these extra guys got to come into work.
That's the thing, too. Sure.
And so there's a big outlay to support this day.
What was this other thing you grabbed?
I'm sorry, I got the address wrong. It's 2220 Forest Avenue. I don't know why I said 2424.
I didn't want to correct you.
The movie theater.
Okay. I didn't want to correct you. But
John Zombie, John Thompson corrected me.
I was like, I did do the announcing on that show. I'm pretty sure I said 2220.
John Zombie, John Thompson.
2220. So I picked up the Bill and Ted's Excellent Archive, which is all of Evan Dorkin's run.
Sure you
on
did.
That. And
sure
I,
you
and
did.
he signed it and actually did a
nice inscription for you.
Yes,
you want to share? You want to share
with Grim Reaper?
Nice, because that's his thing. Is he goes out of his way to do nice little doodles and stuff.
You guys, I didn't even know any of this was going on when I mentioned Evan Dorkin.
No, I know.
He's just a
look at that.
He's actually a local guy that actually Bill has actually met. You know, he's a local guy who's done comics.
Very nice, Ed.
Nice little doodle.
Very cool.
Nice little pickup.
Yeah.
Cash.
Cash.
Yeah, and the thing I love about Evan is he's great to talk because he loves to talk.
Yeah.
And he's a great conversationalist. Cool stories.
Yeah.
Even when he is upset, it's entrancing.
There's nothing. Well, that's some of the best of listening to him be annoyed with something, and if you can actually not get the brunt of it when he's ranting, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Well, what are some of his credits? Like the Eltingville Boys, right?
Well, Eltingville, back in the 90s, he did this run of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Milk and Cheese is his dynamic duo of destruction.
You had some of that.
He's actually got some TV credits on Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
All right, cool.
Did some DC animation credits on that, him and his wife.
Did Superman the Animated Series. He and his wife, Sarah Dyer, just wrote an episode of Ben 10 that's going to be airing in a couple weeks.
Right, I did see some about that.
And he also he's the writer of Beasts of Burden.
Yes,
which Jill Thompson draws.
Right,
which is incredible. Like that is.
I've read the first stuff, and it is quite the unusual thing in a sense.
Yeah,
but so good. So good. Like if you love animals.
Yeah, she does great watercolor art of this group of dogs and a cat who are paranormal investigators.
And it sounds nope. Well, maybe at some point.
And there's
it probably started from that. Like, what do these animals do when they're not playing poker?
Yeah,
they solve X-Files basically.
But
But it's not. No. Wait. Let's fix something. It's not anthropomorphized. If I get the word right,
no.
Characters like like Calvin and Hobbes or Huckleberry Hound.
No. These are just the dogs in the neighborhood who just happen to talk to each other.
Yes. And they got their leashes and their chains, and they have to get away from the house to do things. Yeah. It's very complex. Yes, I'll take a beer, please.
But also nice.
Yeah, and it's fun, and it's good. And I don't think it's... I don't want to say it's not kid-friendly. Is it? Like, you think it's in the wheelhouse?
I think
it's a little serious and dark. You got to kind of get it.
You know what? It's that 80s kids movie.
Yes, okay.
Where
it's a little multi-level.
Where it is accessible for kids, and it's great. But you know what? There's some heartbreaking moments, and it doesn't pull punches.
No.
And there's some really sad things. But I think it's some things that kids should be exposed to.
It's done poignantly.
Yes.
I'll give it that. So, all right, cool. Now, I know Ed didn't see it, but we're going to move on to American Gods. Try not to give too many spoilers, but Jay just watched it today. Me and Bob caught it last night.
How far you want to go with...
I mean, I don't know. We'll try and feel it out. I mean,
well, I'm going to.
It's only one episode in.
I'm going to catch up with it. You know, you guys can talk about the first episode.
I read the book back in the days. It's been a little while, so I don't really retain 100% of it. It feels pretty faithful to me. Obviously, they're going for a real dark thing. This is Brian Fuller. Or who's behind this? This
Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman.
Well, Neil Gaiman wrote it.
But yeah, Brian Fuller is the showrunner.
Brian Fuller is the showrunner, the guy who did Hannibal. So if it gets artsy at times, but a lot of fun.
Oh man, it's so good.
And a lot of fun.
So damn good.
A lot of fun.
I knew of the book. I've never read it. But the reason why I'm really cashing in on this was because I am a huge fan of Ian McShane.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Ian McShane on a bad day, you're going to get something Oscar caliber out of him.
He's going to, much like he did in the first episode, but he's going to shine in this.
It is incredible. Even if science fiction, horror, and fantasy isn't your cup of tea, just watch it for him.
Yeah.
Because he's fantastic. And
he's one of these guys, he's on that level, like, he doesn't get enough credit. He's getting it now these days, but he's on, like, a... because of his age, you want to say it, but he's on the same kind of level, I feel like, as...
Well, he's from the 70s, and it wasn't until that film Sexy Beast came out. You ever see that with Ben Kingsley? He was nominated for it.
I was going to say Anthony Hopkins.
Ian McShane is in that as well. And ever since that film came out, he started getting a lot of work.
Well, like Deadwood. That was the other thing.
That was right before Deadwood.
Yeah.
And Deadwood locked him up for a while, but that pushed him forward.
Absolutely, and then you saw him everywhere.
Yeah,
but this is really, really awesome, man. I mean, and we don't know really what's going on yet.
Yeah,
gory as fuck too.
Yeah, like anything that goes on here, they kind of push it to an extreme. In a way. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away because
maybe we should wait a couple episodes.
Because I know what's at play here on a real level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even come out of this one, it's like, oh, okay. Like, what is the deal? Like, like.
Well, I walked into this blind. Like, I don't know.
Well, me too. I have no clue what the story's about going
and
in.
nothing. Then they don't tell you anything either.
Right, no, thankfully.
So I'm thinking that maybe we should wait a couple episodes and then really dig into it.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, cash in on it.
Yeah, I'd say it's a table recommendation.
You definitely get the feeling from one episode that they're all in on this story, and they're going to do everything they got to do to make it right, because it's got a very specific feel, and they're not shying away from anything.
It's got that Uncle Jay feeling.
Okay,
so at times uncomfortable, other times laughing.
It's clear just from one episode that Starz, which is airing this show, this is going to be a moneymaker for them.
Yeah, this is a big push.
This is a big push for them.
Absolutely,
they want to compete directly with HBO.
Right.
And
this is the show to do it.
And this show could very well do it.
Absolutely.
People watch this show, and they keep doing what they're doing in this one episode, it's going to take off.
And lastly, the first show was directed by David Slade.
Okay.
Directed Hard Candy with, which is a really fucked up version.
Yeah.
Fucked up movie. So it's very dark. It's very, it's gritty, edgy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So, you're in for a couple of. Did I really just fucking watch that happen scenes? There's one that's completely like that.
Thank
that's what I mean.
God.
So you're telling me when I watch, because if you're telling me the guy who did Hard Candy that means I'm going to have to wear a certain type of underwear when I watch this.
Yeah, probably. A guy like you might.
Underwear, period.
You might.
They could have very easily put that Hangman scene. They could have done a soundtrack to that with Rain and Blood from Slayer.
Yeah. The beginning, the opening scene is phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
I was hooked in from even if you didn't want to watch it, you're just click. It hooks you right the hell in.
You're instantly that you're like, what the fuck is going on?
20 seconds in, you're like, all right, that's it.
By the end of that opening sequence, though, you're like, okay, this is a different kind of show.
Yeah.
Especially once it jumps to the next scene, you're like, okay.
Yeah, because I immediately went into I immediately went into mode where I'm trying to figure out what's really going on.
Right.
And like the old guy, when you first meet him, and I'm like, okay, there's something up with this guy. He's like, I started thinking of the Rolling Stones song.
Paint in Black?
No, the one about the devil.
Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Wait, did they play
I mean?
that?
No, they don't play that.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Right.
That's good.
That's the first show I've heard of that had the opportunity to play that song.
Yeah, they pulled a lot of things back like that. That was nice too. That's a good point. They didn't do a lot of those.
They keep you. They don't want to make it obvious in any way what's going on. They're trying to hold back and everything, trying to keep you guessing. But obviously, there is something going on with him because of the Irishman or the leprechaun. I totally believe he's a leprechaun.
Great scene too in the bar.
Great last name, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with the last name.
That's right.
And we can fight like that too.
Yeah.
I'll take that legend. I'll live that legend. But yeah,
I just want. Although I would like to be able to pull cold coins out of thin air.
That's something. It's a good skill to have. So if that hasn't whet your appetite to go check that out, you really should do it anyway.
Yeah, it's like a 6'5" freaking leprechaun.
Again, I can't tell you how awesome Ian McShane is in this.
So
that's the old guy, right?
Yeah. That's Wednesday.
Because I'm recognizing him right away from other stuff.
He's been in a bunch of things.
And I'm like, all right, this guy's a good actor, so we're in for something good here.
I would love to see him and Christoph Waltz in a film together, going back and forth at it.
Jesus Christ, who's going to eat the scenery more?
Oh, yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
There's some serious talking going on there in that.
Yeah.
The show's on Starz, right?
Starz. I don't know which night of the week for sure.
Yeah.
I want to say Sundays probably, but
Yeah, it's Sundays.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, definitely pick it up.
All right. So also in the meanwhile here we got Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of a show that's a couple of episodes in, you want to
Yeah.
dig into? Bob, you've been
Sure.
keeping up?
Yeah, well, I watch it every week. Me and Bill both
Yeah,
watch it.
yeah.
Basically, if you're not keeping up with Better Call Saul, the story is the life of Saul Goodman before Breaking Bad.
When he was named Jimmy McGill.
Right.
The good old days.
And evidently he was a two-bit con man who didn't want to end up like his father, being taken advantage of by everybody. His brother is his own kind of con man. He's a high-end attorney. So
he's a respectable.
he basically saves Jimmy from a life of being a con man and motivates Jimmy to become a lawyer, but then isn't motivated by Jimmy. He doesn't like Jimmy, so he doesn't want Jimmy to be a success. He doesn't like him being in the profession.
Not in his field,
right?
You know?
So as brothers who are competing, this is like the biggest fight they could have. Chuck is crazy. He thinks he has a disease that he's allergic to electricity, basically, and magnetic fields, all sorts of things like that.
It's a condition.
Yeah. It's a condition.
So
is it?
But through it all, he's basically trying to keep Jimmy down, and he's finally found a way. Finally, with fourth episode into season 3.
Yeah, and
but will he actually be able to pull it off and get Jimmy to no longer be an attorney?
Get him disbarred.
Looks like there might actually be something.
I think we're starting to get a realization as to why he might have to change his name.
Yeah, that seems to be lining up. Whether or not it ends up being because he was really forced to legally, or it's a thing that maybe because coming out of all this, he, for some other particulars, decides to do. I feel like it's going to shake out by the end of the season.
I think it's going to end up being a simple thing that, okay, I can't be Jimmy McGill, attorney at law, so I'll change my name. And I am no longer Jimmy McGill, so I can be a lawyer.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, that's
the
the nut. I'm saying, but the full impetus. Like right now, they're setting up that it's this show likes to kind of pull it out from under you and twist the reason why at the end. Like something's going to happen, and it does happen, but the actual reason why or how it's like how Breaking Bad operated.
It's kind of manipulated along the way.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you saw.
And we're seeing these little things like his secretary. He hired his secretary Francesca,
who is this?
Returns from Breaking Bad, but in a very different kind of role. She's sunny and
oh
chipper.
my god, it's like what happened to her?
Yeah,
it's like if you have that context from Breaking Bad, it is a thing where it's like, oh wow, we're going to see a trajectory on some of these people. Like you know what I mean? And if you don't know, it's fine because you don't have to know that this person has some kind of life changes happen.
It does benefit you knowing the history.
It will make the show more engaging.
It does,
for you.
yeah, because it is
right now,
it is a bit of a slow roll. This show,
and not right now. Someone listening to this, us explain this. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a show with a guy who's a lawyer, and his brother doesn't like him, and he's trying to like keep him down. And,
and
like how is that? Okay,
but there's a lot of things that are going on along the way. Like he picks up a client, he's got backed into a corner, has to take him, and he has to take care of him. And what does he come up with? The squat cobbler.
Right.
Which is a lie and an illegal maneuver that he used to get the client off.
And the other thing we follow is Mike.
That was I was about
Mike
to dig
Ehrmantraut.
into, and I'm actually more excited with that plot line.
Yeah, Mike's like, more engaging in a way.
If you're a guy,
because Mike doesn't talk. So any scenes where it's just Mike,
beautiful cinematography of just him on the open road in New Mexico,
right?
And you just have all these long shots, and you just sit.
Well, here's the thing: with Mike's stuff, you have to just watch and wait.
Yeah.
Because nothing is up front whatever Mike's got going on. You have to he's noticed something, so he starts to kind of do something in reaction to that. But it's
like, why is he up on top of a hill with a sniper rifle in the middle of nowhere with a pair of sneakers?
Yeah. And it doesn't really all kind of usually come together until right as he goes to do the thing. Okay, that's why
he put drugs in the shoe and put it up on the wire,
and that's why you totally dismantled the entire car for 3 hours in a junkyard. Okay,
and also,
but it's good reveal though. It's good reveal stuff when they build it up like that
because
you kind of know what's going on.
Right. And you're always learning about Mike because you learn just how smart and determined he is.
Yeah.
And what he's willing to do to take care of business.
Yeah. Like everything he does is like, don't underestimate this guy because he's older.
You don't ever underestimate this dude at all.
Yeah, and that's the the other good character from Breaking Bad who's back this season is Gustavus Fring.
Yeah, they're pushing him hard.
Yes.
His training videos.
Yeah, the universes are going to collide soon.
Yeah.
And we're going to find, I'm sure, Jimmy having no choice but to work with Gus, and that probably brings some trouble.
Yeah, and as of this episode, as of this week, 4 episodes have aired, and in episode 4, Gus had a moment with his employees that was really eye-opening as to his character.
You need to have a meeting
motivations.
about these, please.
Yes.
Yes. You will all be getting 24 hours of overtime.
There's counseling is available for anyone who...
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
he's very committed to his businesses. It doesn't matter what the business is.
No, not that. Not that. Not the smoke.
Oh, okay.
Do you have thoughts?
I haven't seen the show at all.
That doesn't stop.
Fuck me.
It's a very cleverly filmed and executed show.
No, I would like to, but I would like to watch all of Breaking Bad first before I go in.
You should. You
want the DVDs?
Just say you like pretty pictures, and that'll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you read the Preacher books, and then I'll go watch Better Call Saul.
Oh, we're throwing down here.
You're going to fuck with me because I'm being a little silent during your little segment?
He's being nice. He's being old gentleman.
Now you pissed me off. Here we go.
Sounds like they both got to come over here for a weekend marathon where they're both strapped down and made to do what they're supposed to do.
All right. Well, now.
No, I'm just going to make you all watch The Dark backward with my commentary.
I was going to say...
Jay, not for nothing. That's the only way we'll watch it.
Okay.
I was just last time I was strapped down, I ended up watching Grown Ups 2, and I'd rather not relive that.
All right, and with that, we'll shift over to the chat room game.
Yes.
Cash.
And figure out if anybody had anything there for Iron Man 2. The Untitled.
Yes.
Unsubtitled.
Give Iron Man 2 a subtitle. So here we go.
Hit me with some of these.
Iron Man 2, Balls of Steel.
Nice.
Iron Man 2, The Rise and Fall of Uncle Jay. Iron Man 2, Junkyard Suits.
Junkyard, yes.
1 suit, 2 suit, 3 suit, shit.
Well, helps if you remember the movie.
1 suit, 2 suit, red suit, blue suit. I guess you figured it out.
Yes, there you go. Okay.
Iron Man 2, Suits Me. Iron Man 2, Russian Beatdown. Iron Man 2, From Russia with Hate.
Ooh.
Iron Man 2, Bitch Please.
Bitch Please.
Which we could throw that as the subtitle of any sequel.
Of anything.
Yeah.
That's the next Pitch vs. Pitch. Bitch Please, the movie. No.
Iron Man 2, Snowmobile.
Yes, okay.
Iron Man 2, Hammer and Sickle.
That's
actually clever.
That's clever. That's clever. There's a bell. Who's got that?
Yeah. Iron Man 2, Red Knight Rises. Iron Man 2, Mother Dick.
Jay likes the dirty ones.
What is Mother Dick from? I forget.
I don't even remember.
I've heard that. It's like in a movie or it's a show. It's you Mother Dick or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure someone in the chat room will
wasn't that a line in E.T.? Yeah. No, that was penis breath. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the last
close.
Is Iron Man 2, The Ironing.
The Ironing.
Very nice.
Iron Man 2, The Quest for Cash.
Thanks for taking part, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. All right, so...
And now the real moment everyone's been waiting for.
Are you people insane? I'm the director. I make the casting decisions around here.
Well, I thought this was a group effort.
No!
Pitch versus pitch.
Yes.
Last week we gave out a movie title, and everybody here at the table had to come up with a decent movie to pitch.
Yes.
To an imaginary studio exec.
Yes. I believe Jay is the exec this time, or are we doing
Jay gave out the movie title.
Okay.
So maybe I was kind of digging throwing it to the chat room.
Oh yeah, we'll do the chat room.
I mean, let's
let them do one.
Yeah. Well, we'll let them pick the winner. We'll let them pick the winner. At the very least.
I wasn't sure if I was going to do one or not, but I did. I have something prepared. So I'm just
we're all in a similar wheelhouse.
We're all kind of like half prepared. So
deal with it as you will, people.
But I like the fact that I won last week on an idea that I came up with on the drive here.
I want you to just.
That's usually the best ones, though.
I was just going to say, I want you to dial that back. I really do want to say that I really do like the fact that I one last week with an idea that I had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I just want to check on that. I'm not
did.
saying it's any ego.
I'm sucking my own dick today.
Well, it must not be too big because your mouth don't sound muffled.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm all right. I'm average.
I got wedged in the tooth. All right.
I ain't John Holmes.
So who wants to go first? We're going to draw straws or...
Let's make Ed go first.
Okay.
Isn't that what always happens?
I don't know for sure.
Well, if Palmer had one, we'd make him go first.
Oh, Palmer, how you doing, buddy?
Ready?
I'm ready. Hit us with it.
Traffic jam.
The movie.
An oil tanker falls on its side and blocks off an entire highway, and various hijinks ensue.
Okay.
A crazed environmentalist starts a protest on the dangers of reliance on fossil fuels.
Sure.
A young boy befriends a strange girl who is trying to find a toy bear that fell out of her car window.
Okay.
The boy's parents finally have time to talk out their marital issues and decide not to get divorced.
Of course.
An undercover NSA agent is moving through lanes trying to find a suspected terrorist. It all comes to a head when we learn that the protester is both the terrorist and a magic tree creature bent on taking revenge against humans for pollution.
Of course.
The strange girl reveals herself to be an incarnation of Mother Nature.
Oh,
who
boy.
Finds the toy bear, traps the evil creature inside it, thanks the boy for his help, and moves the tanker off the road so cars can start moving again before she disappears into the trees. So for casting...
Okay.
The boy is Jaden Lieberer, who people will know from Midnight Special and St. Vincent.
Okay, fair enough.
He was that kid who was hanging around with Bill Murray in that movie.
Yeah.
It's hard to cast kids because by the time you cast them, they're too old.
They're driving already.
Yeah, and the girl is Raffi Cassidy, who played Athena in Tomorrowland.
If you say so.
Yeah, no, just really.
Is that the main girl?
Yeah, no, that's the little girl android who's the helper,
fair enough.
who like her eyes look like they're CG, which is just one of them. He's got like Elijah Wood eyes.
Yeah. The best thing about him.
Yeah, the NSA agent.
Yeah, okay.
Dax Shepard.
Of course. I like it.
The mom and dad. That's Sofia Vergara and Jason Bateman.
Okay. We got a real comedic kind of undertone here going.
Just
I like it.
People who shouldn't be together.
Fair enough, yes.
And the protester.
Yeah.
It's Bono. Because fuck that guy.
Just fuck that guy. Bono in one of his acting debuts.
Yes, and I found a director who's directed I think every type of genre, except for this type of movie.
Yeah. What is this type of movie?
This is the family traffic jam movie. Just
that's its own genre.
Yeah.
It's a specialty market.
It's like the road trip movie that's not the road trip movie.
Okay.
It's basically like one of those things like a rat race kind of thing where people are all over the place and yet somehow it comes together to form one story.
Yeah, well, that part I got. Sure.
Yeah, and this movie's directed by Ron Howard.
Of course it is. Of course. Only Ron could balance those that recipe.
Yes, and it's one of those things like all those elements you don't know, but Ron Howard, okay, all right, so at least
is a competent pilot at the helm. Who sometimes has, bumped the boat going into the dock, getting in the slip. But, for the most part, he's got a lot going. All right. Sounds good.
It will be serviceable.
That's on my tombstone. He was serviceable. Brother Bob, what do you got, pal?
All right. Traffic jam. The quest to get to work.
Nice.
Okay?
All right.
It's about a guy trying to get to work in Manhattan. Lives on Staten Island. Gets in his car in the morning.
Goes
Why
the fuck are you driving?
Proceeds to get in a traffic jam right on the Staten Island Expressway before he even gets to the Verrazano Bridge with a psychopath. Gets into an accident, right? Boom. Nothing big, right? A little bumper-to-bumper thing. 5 miles an hour. But the guy's a psychopath. So now he don't have his car. He's got to get to work, and he's got this psychopath chasing him.
Okay.
So now he jumps on the bus that's stuck in the traffic, proceeds to get onto the bridge.
All right.
Which, at that point, the bus breaks down.
Okay.
So now he's got to run. Now, he's still got the guy chasing after him.
Sure.
So, it's 5 mile an hour traffic on the bridge, and he's just on a bus that's stuck in the traffic. So, right? This is a black comedy, okay?
Yeah, I'm getting that.
So now... He's in Brooklyn now, and he's got to get on another bus,
right?
Which happens to break down. Actually, this one don't break down.
Okay.
Tires get shot at by the nut job was following him. Right outside the train station. He runs down, jumps on the train, but he's going the wrong way. You know what I mean? So he's having everything could go wrong.
Right.
Just when he thinks he lost the nut job, he's lost.
Okay.
You know, so now he's got to get turned around. He's calmed down, everything, and he gets on, and then suddenly he's on another train going the right direction. But guess who's on the train?
Right, sure.
You know what I mean? And it just goes like that until he actually gets to work.
Finally makes it in.
Finally makes it. He's a disaster. Everything is torn apart. And they're like, you know, it's just like, oh, didn't you know? We were doing the retreat today. You know? Something like that.
Something
You know
where
what?
It's like,
why aren't you over here? You know?
Some last jab in the back kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? And it's got Seth Rogen.
Okay, sure.
And your buddy, the podcaster, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Seth and Joe Rogan.
Right. Joe's the dude chasing him.
Okay, yeah, all right, now it's good. Now I see it. Right. Now, yeah, that's good.
Oh, wow. That guy.
Seth Rogen's done.
Well, Joe Rogan's dangerous. Like,
yeah.
you look at it, I'm not fucking
He'll chew through a car to get to you.
Right, so, you know, and then you can just kind of fill in whoever you want.
Yeah,
way,
sure.
You know, you can put Stan Lee on the bus if you want.
Yeah, might as well at this point. That's what people should start doing. Just put Stan Lee in their own movies for no reason.
Just as cameos.
Just cameos. Just like, it was Stan Lee. We wanted to work with him. Is that the reason? No, yeah, totally the reason. That's all. All right, Jay, I'll flip you for it. You're going to throw it back to me? That's fine.
I'm going to throw it to you. Yeah.
All right, throw it to me.
How gracious of you.
Traffic jam. All right, so this guy, John, he's in a traffic jam. Oddly enough.
Fade out.
Cash. Done. Jay's like, Bill made it. I'll go see it. All right, so... and it's incredibly hot. It's like Los Angeles or something like this kind of a thing. You know, maybe it's very nebulous or whatever, but it's record-breaking heat. The radio's going, all that kind of stuff. So you hear all that going on, record heat, and it's like everyone's locked up. It's not going anywhere. He's got no AC. He's probably like an hour late for work. And, like, you know, this is like, it's boiling over. It's like a living hell, you know? And so, but it's like, we're there with him in the heat, and it's oppressive. And this whole thing starts to really break him down and affect him, you know what I mean? Or does it? Because he starts to think he's in hell. You know, like some of these things are kind of all starting to seem like things being said on the radio, and then suddenly, like, the doors don't open on the car, the windows won't come down enough, and he can't get out, can't turn the car off, the car only stays on. The radio starts doing this spastic frenzy kind of thing, and this tension kind of like really all ratchets up, like for like the first like 20 minutes or so, you know, until like basically like, you know, like he just kind of like just snaps and just like, you know, freaks out, and then like hours seem to pass. Like it's this whole kind of real high tension thing, like what the fuck is going on? And then so like another wave of it comes on where he starts to freak out again. This time like he's even more intense, like, you know what I mean? And then he starts frantically like searching through the car for something, and there's like nothing in the car. There's like literally nothing in the car. And finally, like in the glove, he finds a pen, and he immediately fucking just kills himself with it. But he wakes back up, and he's in the car still, and it turns out like it is hell, and it is a loop, and the only way out is that it's like suicide, like this kind of thing, like, and it's like that's all I got.
That's
like
all he's doing, yeah.
That's all I got for like the setup kind of a thing, where it's like I guess maybe like he just really is in hell. Maybe it's more of a short film kind of a thing, but the whole thing is like if it's done right and you kind of do this slow kind of build of what's really going on, and the reveals come at the right time. It's more of a short kind of a thing. I saw in my head like a quirky like.
I could turn that into a 2.5 hour movie.
But see, that's why I got to bring it to Bob's studio. Bob's like, I can add layers to that. He's being chased.
He's got to try and get out of the loop so he can find a way to get out of hell and go save his wife.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. Just as I realized, well, obviously, but just as I realized, like, you know, he's literally trapped in the car, and that's the loop of his hell.
Right.
Because they can't get out of the car. The traffic just creeps. You know what I mean? Right. Can't change lanes.
Right.
Like nothing is. It's all just a series of frustrations.
Right.
You know, the heat's oppressive. He's basically like in a trapped oven. You know,
all the exit ramps are closed.
Yeah. Anything like he goes by, like he can't, like nothing's like.
I like it.
You know what I mean? And it's just a slow creep. It's like
it does sound kind of like Rod Serling.
I'm sure people like on the 401 in California have this nightmare as a regular recurring thing, and it's like their probably biggest fear.
Is that the road out in California that's a nightmare, Bill?
Yeah.
How would you know?
because that's what people say.
Yeah, it's always the 101 or the 405.
That's
Right,
got a
the
really
405, the
nice
405.
psychological horror element to it. I mean, you said you don't like horror all that much.
No, I said I just don't. Most horror doesn't scare me.
Right. That's good, man. That's really damn good.
I write. I get horror stuff ideas.
Good.
I got fucked up ideas.
Nice.
But, most of this
You're
shit.
sucking your own dick too.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're all in the rooms, like each other's bricks.
But when you lob it up to me like that,
No,
like,
I like it. I like it a lot.
Like,
I'm actually picturing it.
I was fucking
Jay, just look
talking
at some of the art that he's got around the room here, and that'll give you a hint as to the dimension
looks like
that
my
goes
basement.
on.
Yeah. It's like Jay's like, I buy
skull
that
up
shit
there,
at
you
yard
got
sales all the time.
Looks like no, it's great.
No, he's talking about the stuff that I make. This is not nothing I make.
Well,
is
like
up here.
you've had that for like what?
Forever. But mom gave me that for Christmas.
When you were like 14.
Yeah.
But
You and I got
it's
the same
cool,
mom,
but
I think.
but I mean, it's such a fragile thing, and you still have it.
Oh yeah.
Someone else, it would have like peeled. It's because it's such that
It's
hard.
thin.
It's that thin plastic.
Yeah,
that
it's brittle.
It's
almost.
easy to
like,
peel apart.
Any day now, that's going to just go. You're right. Like it's going to hit a threshold for time as plastic, and it's just going to shatter one day.
Jay.
By now, anybody else had it, it would be gone. It's still near perfect condition.
Jay.
No, who do you see playing your character?
Oh yeah.
I'm actually very involved in it. I'm like,
I don't know. I really kind of saw more like an everyday kind of
like
guy.
you?
No, well, I guess so.
No, I think you don't drive.
No, well, that's the thing. So it can't be me.
From the character actor of Bar Karma.
Who's the guy in Alien right now? The guy that's an Alien. I think he played Dr. Manhattan. Billy Crudup?
Billy Crudup.
Billy Crudup.
Is that who's an alien?
Yeah,
He's an alien. Like someone like him. Like you know. Like he's just
Like an
he's so
everyman.
generic in everything he does. Kind of. Or he's got that look. He doesn't get to fucking go crazy.
He's playing Henry Allen in The Flash.
Like I said, he doesn't get to play crazy. You know what I mean? But somebody like that who kind of seemed like very generic kind of type, like business office kind of guy. Like that's what you picture. You know what I mean?
I like it a lot.
And it's
I
slow,
really do.
maddening. But that's the thing. Like in my head, I'm like, well, you know, if it's close quarters, high tension, it's like Cujo. Like that's what like touched on in my head was. It's like Cujo, but you're in hell. You know what I mean? So it's like Cujo, you have a chance. You have an opportunity to get out. And this is like, no, I don't.
You would have to flesh it out a little bit more to, get a feature out of it. You know what I mean? But if it's just him in a car, that might be a...
It's like in the end, he's got to get out of the car.
Yeah.
Like, obviously.
Well, that
like, to make it a feature.
You could make, you can work that out too because it's a car, so he's got one of those window shatterers in case the car goes underwater.
Yeah.
Do you have a director in mind?
See, that's good too. That's good.
That's true. Well, that was the thing too. I was like, well, if it's hell, it's hell. Like, there's not going to be anything in the car for him to kill himself, but he's got to kill himself. So I was going to have him like unscrew the turn signal or snap it off and just jam it into his own fucking neck and bleed
do that.
and bleed out.
Dude, you can find about 100 different creative ways to do it in the car.
Yeah.
Because you just peel something off and it's got a sharp enough edge.
But as usual, I was writing this on the fly, like right before you got here, Jay.
Right.
So it was like, just throw it on the paper.
Kind of like me driving down through 70,
Just
80s,
remember
thinking
that.
of shit.
I did mine on the fly right here.
There you go.
Voice texting myself.
There you go.
Awesome. I like it a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. The research always shows. The actual work put in always shows. So, guys in the chat room, we're going to leave it up to you. Ed, did you write encapsulations again like you did last week?
Yes, it did.
You did?
Yeah.
Give us a little
is
reminder.
Jay presenting us with an idea? Or
I'm
is he
sorry.
sitting
Yeah,
out?
Jay, I'm sorry. You were so blowing smoke up my ass that I forgot about you.
I actually wrote like a full script. It's called Showgirls 3
Yeah,
Traffic Jam.
Yeah, that would be pretty
so
rough.
All right. That's all we need.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
There's
going
a
to
story
show
that goes
is
out
the description.
behind the scenes.
I may win
at the
just
strip
based
club.
on that. No, mine was more of an ensemble piece. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make it an anthology or an actual just like a ensemble piece a la Magnolia or something that Robert Altman would have did back in the day.
Is this a Saved by the Bell reunion?
Yes, exactly. That's the fourth film.
All right, well, we're going to step back and let you go.
No, the characters involved it's a traffic jam, and there's a bunch of characters. One is a serial killer on the run. He's in a fucking traffic jam.
Sure.
There's a married couple. The wife is in labor. A group of stoners that have some kind of dilemma going on. I haven't fleshed that out. Two garbage men who are sleeping with each other's wives.
You're stoned, you don't have to.
Fair enough.
A mother and son who hate each other. and 2 teenage lesbian girls who are running away from home in their father's car.
Right.
This is going to be more of a darker, edgy piece, but it's taking place in broad daylight.
Sure.
So the only person I think that can actually do that would be Fincher.
Okay.
And I thought that if I was going to ever write a script and have somebody doctor it, go back to Seven, Andrew Kevin Walker, because that script is phenomenal in its own right, and I would really want to capture it like how Michael Mann captures his movies with Dante Spinotti's cinematography. Talking like Heat. I'm talking.
You're talking like Chinese to me right now. So
just very, very.
We like story, Jay.
I'm just. I like the frame. I like the vision,
the composition,
the composition,
the mise en scène.
So,
I'm just saying, my point was you just name dropping. We don't know.
And I didn't have it fleshed out, but I just said it's very dark, edgy, uncomfortably funny. The few characters intertwine, and it ends terribly.
It ends terribly. Yeah. Lots of people that you don't want to die.
That's all I got.
I like it.
So, from myself, we have an ensemble family spy fantasy.
Okay.
From Bob, we have a guy trying to get to work while on the run from a maniac.
Okay.
From Bill, we have a guy stuck in traffic who realizes he might be in hell.
There you go.
And from Jay, we have an ensemble serial killer, dysfunctional family, stoner drama.
Ooh.
You got to add a few more.
Yeah.
Teenage lesbians and mother and son who hate each other.
I lumped that all into dysfunctional family.
You got to reflect it more.
No, you got to flesh that out more.
He doesn't approve.
If you were in a fucking office, he would get the fuck out of here.
He does not approve of your.
No. I think you're underplaying it a little bit.
It's an ensemble.
If I was picking,
I would say it's an ensemble high drama piece, high stakes drama in a traffic jam.
Well, it's a little edgier than that, I think.
Okay.
Involving LSD.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Exactly.
God damn it.
See how angry he gets?
So the tabulation is already in, folks.
That's not fair.
It's very quick to do because there's only 2 or 3 people voting.
I'm going to say this just because of last week. I'm going to say if I had to pick one, I'd pick yours because I would love to be involved in it.
Well, we'll start shooting this week.
There's that.
So 2 votes. Bill wins.
Well, it's about time. I'll ring my own damn bell. I think it's been a while since I might have got one.
They voted
that
already?
Wasn't even a real movie.
Did they vote already?
Ed didn't even have a
Ed works so hard, you know?
I know. Ed was typing furiously when he got here. Let me tell you.
Have you not ever won before?
No, I win all the time.
Yeah. He usually does the most work on it.
Yeah.
Till I started coming up.
Yeah.
Jay doesn't even win either. He's just throwing the monkey wrench in it by going, "Hey, I like that one." That's all it takes.
I do, man. I actually was taken with it.
It's mob mentality, man. Yeah. One guy says, "Hey, I'll get up and start dancing." It takes that second guy to dance near him that gets everybody else to come up. Without that second guy, oh man. Well, thank you, Jay, for helping me out with that. Ed, there's counseling sessions available.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's going to be good, right?
Yeah. Wonder Woman's supposed to be real good, by the way. A lot of positive heat on that, by the way.
Ed, you almost lost a couple of keys on your keyboard there.
Yeah, bro.
When you threw that down.
I was pretty sure we're off the air.
I was looking for cracks on the screen.
You know what I mean?
I'm actually thinking about writing mine now. I think it's a nice idea.
You want to know what's funny about your idea? I immediately saw that movie, too. In my head, where a traffic jam as a setup seems like a really great setup to have a bunch of multiple people who have no reason to be connected into a moment where you can follow all these tracks, not have them be so. Oh, it turns out they're all related, but they all end up coming to some kind of head because of how they interact while they're all jammed up.
Right.
And
somebody starts a trouble with one guy, and then somebody chimes in on it from over here, and then 3 cars.
I'm actually while we're talking about this now, it just struck me that it would be perfect for an Agatha Christie style murder mystery.
It's this kind of a thing, right?
Where, because you have a bunch of people who have no connection to each other, or seemingly have no connection.
But that would never happen. She didn't write about poor people.
Well, that's true too. It was always elevators and express.
And Peter Ustinov has got to show up somewhere playing Hercule Poirot.
That's why I said style.
That's what. See, Bob, we know it. Here's the thing, Bob. We know her tangentially. Turns out these guys know her but Actually, now that you mention Agatha Christie, as a matter of fact.
Did you see
Hercules?
Did you know that she preferred this type of wine when she was writing?
Did you see the picture of Kenneth Branagh in the remake of
you see?
Murder on the Orient Express?
No.
Oh,
He looks like Albert Finney?
He's playing Poirot though.
Did you
Oh,
see?
he is, yeah.
You should see the
Albert Finney played him in that version.
You should see the cast photo. It's like the modern day Gumball Run. It's like everybody. It's like a who's who.
I'm going to look at it right now.
Of actors 50 and over of note.
You know, I like Kenneth Branagh.
So as you guys dig that up, I am going to set us up for the last segment of the show. Regular listeners and friends know it as the thing we call emails.
Cash.
Send more cash.
Oh, we're gonna do another. Is someone gonna do another pitch by pitch name?
You know what? Let's skip it next week. Let's bring something else in next week.
Okay.
We'll rotate it out as bits go.
Right.
You know, we only leave the one slot for bits, and you know, we try not to burn any of them out, really. And speaking of bits, we're trying not to burn out. How about emails?
All right.
We got any that we know what's going on ahead of time, or
was that?
Did we have any that we read ahead of time?
Yes,
or?
this one.
So what did James, Wesley, and Stephanie have to say this week?
Well, oddly enough.
Hey, two of them are nice people.
Okay. And Stephanie was still trying to figure out.
Steph!
Those other two got nervous. They're like,
see what he did there?
It's
time for another beer.
Although she's dating Palmer now, so we're kind of getting on her side.
I was on Sammy's show this week without Sammy, so
that's fair enough. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I love you. Please.
If anybody's watching Gotham and wants to hear Ed and hang out,
I need this.
Yeah,
stay on vacation.
Yeah, she's in Germany, right?
I believe so. Right, Germany. I know she's away.
She's actually on my friends list. I think I saw something. She
fair
was
enough.
Flying over there.
I know that. You know, just in the moment, I couldn't recall if it was Germany.
Yeah, it was Germania.
Germania.
The fatherland.
All right, so the first email is from James Hazelton Jr.
Fuck you, James.
As predicted.
What's up, buddy?
James has got a really long one. Okay, so I'm gonna skip through some of it. James, I'm gonna try and do you justice here, but this is really long, and actually a section of it is for Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're gonna skip right over that and come back to it later because somebody else has an email in here for Guardians.
Oh, so we're gonna
have a couple of emails in the Guardian stuff. All right, so he says, good Saturday morning, guys. It's just past 4 a.m. I have my coffee. I'm halfway to town, so I've got a signal, and they say any publicity is good publicity, and last November that apparently proved true. It's politics with him. So I didn't catch it the first time I read it. So I'm doing my part. That's right. I'm wearing my Wicked Theory T-shirt. Yep. It's not buried in the drawer. I'm getting my $20 worth out of this thing. Coincidentally, that means a lot of publicity for you guys. So, James, thanks for wearing it out. Anybody else? This is a perfect moment to tell you teespring.com.
They are really nice shirts.
/Wicked T. Sale ends tomorrow. Go get them. Okay, so... of course, I'm not entirely sure how many other geeks there are down here in Louisiana, but maybe. So, told you on Twitter I was going to see it, and I did. I'm still rather ticked off at Regal. So, he goes into this whole thing about the concession stands and how annoying that is.
Oh, I agree with him. They're assholes.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
At the Regal Cinemas?
Oh, they're the worst.
I guess it doesn't matter what
soda.
state.
I got a soda. That's the soda we had at Guardians. I had 90% ice.
There you go.
Yeah, and they can have 40 people... on those lines, and they'll still just have two people on the counters who don't know where any of the shit is.
Oh,
it's the fucking worst.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when we were there, the butter machine was broken.
The butter spigot.
And we were waiting there for the guy because he came out when we first tried it, and I was like, "Oh, it's broken." He's like, "Oh." And he turned around, and
he disappeared.
We figured he was getting butter for the machine. He's coming back with tools. So we waited like 5 minutes.
And then before he comes out, we're like, fuck it. We walked around to the other side, got the butter over there, walked back because we had to pass where we were to go to the theater for us. And then we see him out there with a screwdriver, like jamming it up into the hole.
Right.
Like two left hands and a foot trying to do it.
So instead of letting us wait, he could have just said, because he knew. He didn't have to say a word. He was like, oh, it's it's broken again, and he turned around and walked away. He didn't say a word.
If he was cognizant.
If he had just said,
hey, go use the other one down the other end,
it's going to take me a while. Go use the other one.
What a fuck.
Because then not for nothing, in my head, I'm like, when's he going to come out? I wanted to see what he came out with if it was butter. Mm-hmm. Like if it was a big bag of butter or a big barrel. Like, you know, I wanted to see what kind of like crazy thing.
And he never came back.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, speaking of someone...
He came back with a dirty screwdriver.
I would have stabbed him with
it. No, he came back with it, right.
Speaking of someone who worked retail for 6 years, it was just in the same industry, but it's not that far off. His life must suck.
Yeah, working in a movie theater. Yeah, being like manager on shift.
You know, at some point, you just got to understand, give him a pat on the back, and just say,
"What
it's
store
did
you work at?"
I'm not saying that on the air.
At his age, this is one of the coolest jobs he can have. He's 16 years old, and he gets to see movies for free.
Oh, fuck him!
All right, let me get back to this email here because I got to get through this. This has got some length, not as much girth. It's all about length. All right, so he says they had lines and areas blocked off for the IMAX. P.S. He just wants to remind everybody that if you're at the Regal, don't forget to get your receipt, because if you get the Regal points card, sometimes you need the receipt to redeem them. This is a kind of an extra thing. Guy told me the same thing because I have the points card. So I don't know what that was about. I didn't check my receipt. Anyway, on to the movie. I'm sure Bill is probably going to read ahead real quick. Relax. I'm not going to say anything that could spill the beans or spoil the movie beyond this point. But that's all right, Jake, because we're skipping it. So down to this other part, and he says, okay. Sadly, I don't have time to make it past. Okay, sorry. Now on to other stuff. I finally got to see some of season 2 of The Badlands. It was kind of good. There's a bigger world beyond the Barrens, and it's shitty. Okay, and the kid from season 2, season 1 broke his arm. Blah 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 blah. Sadly, I don't have time to make it past the first episode. But yeah, you need a question in case I haven't inspired enough commentary. Anyway, I could ask when the lazy bastards that listen but never email will finally email the show. But I'm thinking only Ed would know the answer. So instead, whatever happened to sidekicks? Do they qualify? Did the quality of villains drop? Did the scores of mindless grunts who work for them vanish so their necessity to clear the superhero's path to the villain diminish? Maybe it's not PC to be the sidekick anymore. You have to be a team member now. This forced equality stuff. If you could be a superhero sidekick, whose would you be?
Well, no, actually, I think...
Please, Bill, before anyone answers, if they say Batman, smack him in the face.
Well, I think the real answer to that question as to why there aren't sidekicks anymore is more... it's more of a child labor law thing.
You think so? Around the same time that we realized we can't have them in factories, we said, okay, we probably can't have them fighting like side by side.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a combination of that and the fact that labor has become so cost-effective that you can just have minions instead of instead of have a sidekick.
Yeah, you got these yellow pills shaped.
It's also the modern generation. They don't appreciate the privilege. They don't deserve it.
It's the millennials, right? It's the millennials.
Yeah. Well, you know what I say to that?
It's the damn millennials.
They're all young upstarts. Let them go form their Teen Titans and go off, do whatever they want.
You know, speaking of Titans, you know, right now I think you know, the most well-known sidekick at the time, Robin, is actually the youngest he's ever been right now.
Yes.
He's like 10 or younger, right?
Yeah,
in the comics now?
10, 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Somewhere in that ballpark. It's unspecified young age to be, you know.
By the way, if you're not reading Super Sons,
yes,
which is him and Jonathan Kent,
the current
new Superboy.
The new Superboy.
Oh, my God, it's incredible.
These two little 10-year-olds running around, getting into hijinks.
We need that animated show, like, now.
You still wouldn't get it. It wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be as good. So with that, he wants to ask that kind of stuff about the sidekicks.
Whose sidekick would I be?
Yeah. And you know, Batman is off limits as far as he goes. No, because it's a cheap out answer. Of course, everybody would want to be Batman. Well, it's like, who wants to be Mr. Black? Everybody wants to be Mr. Black.
Iron Man. Be his sidekick. You get to be Rhodey, basically. You know, you get your own suit.
He goes on in this thing. He goes, no cheap out answers. Batman's off limits for this because he's known for having sidekicks. And Bob, Ed, and Jay, if the fuckers are there, just want to chill at a billionaire's place all day, being served by the house staff. So He says, well, from your half-breed southern redneck / geek in the heart of the Arc Latex, it's been fun. I'm probably in chat, if not typing, never fear. I've got my Bluetooth. I'm listening through buffering pauses. There was something else. What am I forgetting? It wasn't to say that Duke should have won, because that's a given. Nah, I can't remember it. If I do remember, I'll send another email. Maybe this will remind you to promote during the show. Hey, Bill, how can we help the show? Psst, plug the Patreon here.
You know, maybe if Duke had a sidekick, he could have won.
Yeah,
against all the Smurfs.
Is that how you could tie it together like that?
Right.
Yeah, sure. If he had,
He had a sidekick.
At least Snake Eyes had a sidekick. He had that dog. He had the Timberwolf. Yeah. So if
anybody didn't need one, it would be Snake Eyes.
Yeah, that's true. The biggest badass. But that was cool. That the fact that his sidekick, his pet, would be
Shipwreck had the parrot, Polly.
Yeah. Frogs in winter, motherfucker.
Spirit was it's freedom.
Okay, fine. I was wrong. But Snake Eyes had the dog first. He had the wolf first.
But to give my answer, I'm going with my old standard, Captain Marvel.
I want to be part of the. We're back to that.
Part of the Marvel family.
Not Captain Invincible.
All right, put that down for.
We got to talk about that.
Put that down for Captain Marvel.
I'm bringing my Betamax player over.
His name is Captain Marvel.
Whatever. So he wants to know, how can we help the show? Well, people can support us on Patreon for $1 a month. It's a nice little segue here. Thanks, James. But for $1 a month, you get the after shows that some people miss. You get something else now that's popped up called 20-minute minis. I don't know what those are. You'll have to join and check them out. That's $1 a month.
I wandered into one accidentally this week.
See that? See that how that happens? And if anybody's really looking to hear Dom Torrey, seems like he's Patreon exclusive, basically, because that's where he ends up. He ends up in the monthlies. He ends up in those 20-minute minis. So go check it out over there at patreon.com/wickedtheory. And let's see what this next email is. Oh, it's James again. I remembered. Remember there was a thing he couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So he goes, it's Free Comic Book Day. So if you forgot your reminder, this is it. If you didn't have a reminder, you messed up. Of course, this also means I'm dressed right for it because I'm walking into a comic book store wearing my Wicked Theory t-shirt. So, boom, free advertising to nerds and geeks. That's right, I'm promoting the show. I'm pulling an Agent Palmer today, bitches. All right, enough email. I'm going to go see what's left at the comic
What happened to my fuck you, James?
He wasn't thinking of you.
Oh.
By the way, as you meant, there must have been some ringing in his ears because Dom Torrey is now in the chat.
Dom Torrey's in the chat. I did get a secret text from him that he might pop up, but I don't know what's going on.
Don't worry, I'll email you, James.
Dom, if you can hear this, we are going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy special thing in mere moments, literally mere moments, because we just finished the email. It's going to be a full spoiler thing, though, D. So keep that in mind. If anybody else wants to hear us talk about that, they can hear it as a separate episode in our podcast feed.
There you go.
So, gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the emails because we do have another one, but it's for the Guardian stuff. We're going to keep it over there. It's from Chad Rose. So if Chad NV can hear us, that's where he can find our response.
He's got to stick around to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Wesley said he sent an email.
Wesley says he sent one.
Like just now.
So, so maybe I have to refresh.
Yeah, you might want to try refreshing.
He just made Palmer's head explode. Palmer's thing to me this week was like, and no last minute emails.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I'm like, it's only Wesley or somebody like that, and if it's short, then I'll do it. If
but
it's
I don't
long,
get why
then,
not. I mean,
well, because it's all about really trying to keep us under time. That's his job. So it's like, when the guy who's in charge of being it's like telling a cop, stop giving me, a hard time, officer.
It's an email.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes, hey, you crazy guys, do you have a favorite parody song?
Oh, well.
Well, I can't sit here and should I just say the great works of Weird Al Yankovic? And
I love Rocky Road.
Don't forget the covers of Richard Cheese.
But those are covers.
Those are covers.
Not parodies. All in all.
Well, it is a parody of something that exists already.
He's doing a genre parody. That's for sure. His is a total genre parody.
My favorite musical moment.
Which is not the question.
In this comedic,
this
comedic parody category.
Because
it's not a song. It's a recital.
Oh.
But Bill Shatner reciting Rocket Man.
Yeah.
At the science fiction.
I have to second that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
That is just, it's incredible. It's incredible. Great feat.
It's a little self-indulgent, but whatever.
That's why it's so good.
That's not why it's so good. It's so good because it's just Shatner being Shatner. It's not that self-indulgent. He's been worse.
But it's early on
when
people really weren't hip to it.
Yeah, it was the 70s when he wasn't working.
Right.
As far as parodies go, I'm going to say, wow. It's tough.
I mean, Weird Al kind of cornered the market on that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And made a career out of it.
And
still making a career out of it.
And you can't forget about Dr. Demento, who put up a spotlight on all these crazy guys who were doing stuff like that.
But he also got a lot of crazy songs together. And put them on these,
that was insane.
Fish heads and
fish heads.
Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
So, we could exchange. Maybe we should just extend this to covers because his next question is, do you have a favorite parody artist? And the question after that is there a parody you think is better than the original? So, a parody better than the original?
I don't
know if that could even happen, really, in a way, because it's by the nature of it being a parody. Don't get me wrong. I could be more engaged by the parody because the parody is on a funny topic. That's a third thing.
All I'm going to say is I'm already recorded this, but I'm a guest star on an upcoming episode of the Our Liner Notes podcast.
What?
And I would refer anyone with this question to listen to that. To hear my take on this.
Interesting. Interesting tease, Edward.
Yes.
Interesting tease.
Because there is one song, the parody is much better than the original.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I'll give it to Richard Cheese. He he recontextualizes any song he covers.
No, but especially he takes My Neck, My Back and makes it sound like a 50s jingle for a laundry detergent.
Yeah.
And it is breathtaking.
It is. It really is. So with that, unless someone's got something to add on the subject of parodies.
No,
not particularly.
I think when it comes to parodies, I guess Weird Al kind of corners that, and I was tired of it in the 80s.
If we're going to say covers, I will say Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt is better than the original.
Oh, that's not a parody. That's
I mean, I was trying to switch it over to covers, but I realized I probably shouldn't.
Actually, Johnny Cash's covers of most songs are phenomenal.
He can usually figure out. He's been doing it so long.
Yeah. He's got an incredible cover of Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down" that, to me, is better than that song.
Yeah, I
has
believe
ever
that.
been. Yeah. It's phenomenal, and Tom Petty's actually strumming acoustic with him.
Yeah, he sings in the chorus.
Anything from that Johnny Cash when he was with Deaf American, when Rick Rubin was producing all of his stuff.
Yeah,
those are by far. There's no bad out. There's not a bad song.
Was it American Highway series?
The American sessions.
Yeah,
American recordings.
It's like 4 albums or something like that.
6, I think.
Is that many?
Yeah, phenomenal.
So that's where all these more modern Johnny Cash is the real solemn drum driven.
And he just it's just him with an acoustic guitar and he's doing that.
It's just stripped down.
Sometimes not. It's completely stripped down.
And he
concept.
adapts from people you would never think in a million years, like
Depeche
Mode
and U2.
And U2, yeah, he does one.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So
if it's already a bleak song.
He makes it just bleaker.
Because quality country singers, classic country singers, know how to do emotion.
Yeah.
Much like comedians.
Can slip into
drama and do emotion because you know what I mean. It's in the field. It's inherent.
It's tapping into a similar.
There's
thing.
country music and then there's Johnny Cash, and it's just they don't go hand in hand because some of that that George Strait shit.
Well, not in the modern poppy stuff is really in the same kind of wheelhouse as that.
But some of it is really trash.
Let's talk about
deep
some
country.
Well, that's because
that's good stuff too.
Back in the
you
80s
know what I mean?
and 90s, when jazz musicians weren't doing well, they all went to Nashville and became country writers.
Right,
that's true. That's a big thing.
Okay,
too.
so that's why country music changed. It became more like pop rock.
Yeah.
Well, when most people say they hate country music, they're talking about Garth Brooks, George Strait. You know, I love her and I made her. That kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash is not that.
I love
Johnny
her and
Cash,
I made her. Is that the country song of Gargamel?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough. All right, kids. So that's it. We're going to wrap this one up. We are Dunskies. We are way over time that I had said we were going to do.
Sorry.
Not your fault, Ed. Or maybe it is. We'll have to listen back and find out.
I've been known
Blame
to do
Palmer. He
over
hasn't said
2-hour
that we
shows
were-
with you guys.
Everybody wants.
Was Palmer doing his job, letting us know we were running?
He
running
was.
along?
Yeah,
Well,
he
he stepped away for a bit.
We're at $1.40.
But he was keeping me abreast to a degree.
Yeah,
Hey,
mouth.
Boobies. All right. So if you like the show, you can hear more of it.
Cash.
Cash. Go to wickedtheory.com for episodes and other things like Jay's Star Wars.
My memoir, yes. It's a true story.
It's a true story of what happened to him that day as a kid. You can go read Wesley Gaskin's poetry. He was so inspired to write about us. And episodes. Ed, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Edward O'Hare TBD.
All right, Brother Bob.
I'm at Bob WTPC.
That's on the Twitters. Jay?
I'm at fuckyou@fuckyou.gov.
I knew you were going to say that.
Uncle Jay Chickalese at Jason Chickalese.
Thank you, sir.
On Twitter.
And I'm at Wicked Theory on the Twitters. Thanks for listening, and check us out soon. And hang tight. We'll be back in a minute with Guardians of the Galaxy. Bob, take us out.
Cash. Quaalude.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.